Hey guys, today I want to talk about your priorities, and there are three groups of people who are involved in your gym business. All of them are super important. All of them deserve your absolute best. But when you have to choose one over the other, here's the hierarchy that we teach. And I'll give you some specific examples because this can be hard to understand. Like when you open up a gym, you do that for unselfish reasons. You're doing this to serve others. And so most gym owners tend to put themselves last. And sometimes that looks like, servant leadership, but sometimes that looks like martyrdom. And so today I'm going to talk to you about why this hierarchy is important and how people screw it up. So the very first thing is you and your family are the most important part of this business. This is the reason that you open this business, to create a better lifestyle for yourself or for your family. The business exists to serve you. The business is your clients. Running a gym is a client-centric business, okay? But you attracted those clients to build the gym, which again serves you. And your team is there to serve the clients, which means that when you're making decisions about like, who should I put first in this decision, the team should be prioritized after the clients are prioritized, and they are prioritized after you are prioritized. Now, here's how a lot of gyms or other businesses just screw this up. First, you've heard the old myth, the customer is always right. And in most cases, that is true. Like you should always listen to your customer, except when they're wrong. And you can listen to or read the blog post, Killing the Canary on our site. Very popular blog post about when not to listen to customers and why we don't do surveys. The customer's job is to buy and pay for the value that you provide at an appropriate level or an appropriate price for the value that you're providing. Most gym owners that I know are underpriced. Let's put it out there. And then they add discounts on top, which is like a discount on top of their already too low prices. The customer's job is to pay what you're worth, okay? Now, of course, you have to do a really great job of explaining that, like, here's why we're worth this. And you have to actually deliver that value. You have to be excellent. But putting it in this perspective means that when you're deciding, what should I do? Should I run another 2 classes a day? Should I, give this customer a break on their rent or their rate? Should I, try and get another 300 clients? Should I meet with this client on Sunday? Should I respond to their text when I'm at my kid's Little League game? That's when you look at this hierarchy and you say, my family comes first. You can also lean heavily on this hierarchy when times get tough or you have to do something that's really tough. So for example, a lot of people struggle to raise rates, even after they understand that they've underpriced themselves, even after they understand what discounts are doing to their business, they still struggle to lose rates because it's like, oh my God, customer can't afford it. But really they're impoverishing themselves and their family. Now, I am the worst martyr of all. So I have to put family in this box because if it's just a matter of me skipping a meal or me getting a new pair of jeans or me saving money to pay the rent, I can handle that. And I know that I can. I can martyr myself really well, but I don't want to ask the same of my family. And one of the times that I raised rates, I had this great conversation with my wife, and she has a lot of nieces and nephews, and we absolutely love them. And at Christmas time, Robin really loves buying them a lot of presents. And early on, I was confusing these two things, and I was like, I got to give you a limit for Christmas. We're spending too much money, and even though we want to buy these kids amazing presents, like we just can't afford it. And she just said, I don't want to live like that. And so what that did for me was like, oh yeah, duh, right, she's the priority. The family's the priority. And the clients are there to make sure that I can fulfill on my obligations to my primary priorities. And so what did we do? We raised rates and we never had that discussion again. So your clients are really there to provide the lifestyle that you wanted to have when you opened a business. Your team is there to serve your clients. Here's where a lot of owners get this wrong. They think their primary obligation is to feed their team, and they cite books like Leaders Eat Last. But those books are actually wrong, or at least taken out of context, they're wrong. What's most important is that the leader eats. He doesn't have to eat everything. He doesn't have to starve his team. He doesn't have to like rip off his clients or be greedy. But if the leader doesn't eat, everybody's done. The platform is gone. The clients don't get served. They don't get healthier and fitter. The team doesn't have a job anymore. If you have one sandwich and you're on like a trans-Pacific flight to Australia and you got to decide who's going to get this sandwich. We're on this flight for 22 hours. The person who should get the sandwich is the pilot, because if the pilot has low blood sugar or starts starving or gets distracted, everybody goes into the ocean, right? So a lot of owners that we talk to actually pay their staff more than they pay themselves. Or, they're putting out all this money in wages and it's like less than what they earn. Or they say, my primary duty here is to build careers. That's not your primary duty. That's your tertiary duty. Your primary duty is to feed your family. Your secondary duty is to get your clients healthier and fitter. And your tertiary duty is to create careers for other people only after you've established the platform that will allow you to do that. You cannot put creating opportunities for your staff before you have clients and enough clients paying enough value to support you. Because if you go hungry, everybody goes down. A couple of examples of where people mess this up. We used to get attacked by people who just didn't know any better for talking about models, right? And one of these models for paying your staff was the 4 nights. And what they would do is they would stir up resentment and they would call us all kinds of bad names that I won't even repeat, because they were solely focused on the numerator, the 4, right? The ratio. Instead, what they were missing is you need to be focused on the denominator, the ninths. You need to make sure that the pie is big enough. If your staff wants a raise, you raise your rates. If your staff needs to make more money, you get more clients. You make more revenue, you increase the denominator, and that will automatically get them a raise. Increase the numerator too, because they're being, you're focusing your payroll on ratios. The key though, is that if you start focusing on the wrong thing here, I'm going to give my staff, 7/10 of all the personal training revenue. What that does is it wipes out the number of clients who are paying a high value, because you're no longer incentivized to build a personal training on-ramp, right? You're making your money from group training. Why would you encourage one-on-one training in people? And it also undermines this, right? The whole pyramid just collapses if you're prioritizing things in the wrong order. What most gym owners need to hear is that they're not being greedy by paying themselves first. They need to hear that they are not these slimy crooks that they see in the Disney movies swimming in a vault of gold just because they want to make the great living that they deserve. And I don't think enough people are saying that, and that's why I'm here saying it to you now.